Tax season is kind of over. Most Metro Detroiters have either got their returns or they're still waiting for them in the mail.
Yeah, but what would you do if you expected your refund and it never came, all because of the tax preparer? Well, that was the case for two local women who came to us for help. 7 Action News reporter Amira David has the story. She's standing by live with it. Amira?
That's right. They filed back in the winter months. They thought it was all said and done, that everything was taken care of. That is until they heard from the IRS and started to grow very concerned.
I kept doing the where's my refund, and every time I went in there to look at where's my refund, it was like I hadn't filed anything. It said no file existed.
For Southfield resident Michelle Jackson, tax season has been a taxing ordeal. She says she hired Delilah DePriest of Royalty Tax Services to handle her 2016 filing, but after 3 months of waiting for her federal return,
I got in touch with someone and she said, well, your return has been rejected 4 times.
Sharice Caleb says she found herself in a similar predicament. While her state return came through, the federal was nowhere to be found.
Next thing I know, I received a letter from the IRS that I was in audit.
The IRS would soon explain to Jackson and Caleb that the problem stemmed in part from a form their tax preparer filed claiming they had health insurance under the Affordable Care Act.
And I told her, I have my own insurance, so why even do that? Why file that?
They didn't get many answers, but they did get bills.
$767.
Over $700 in tax filing fees for Caleb and more than $500 for Jackson. DePriest arranged to deduct her fees directly from the client's tax return itself by routing the returns to a third-party bank account first, all while leaving the women in the dark about how much she'd be collecting.
It appears to me that she's taking a percentage.
Shane Berry of the Michigan Association of CPAs called the practice questionable.
On an original return filed with the IRS in the state of Michigan, the refund should be sent to the taxpayer, not the tax preparer.
Berry also said the exorbitant fees based on projected returns were a huge red flag. But when we reached Delilah of Royalty Tax Services by phone, she told us it was the IRS that set those high fees due to certain forms being filed. She also said she blamed the Revenue Service for the tax return rejection and audit of her former clients. The IRS tells us they never determine preparers' fees.
I don't know what she's going to do at this point. You know, I'm hoping she'll make it right and won't try to hold my money hostage.
Now, after we spoke to Delilah, the tax preparer in this story, she did return the federal money to Jackson. The other woman in this case, Caleb, she's still fighting an audit right now, and both women have requested their money back. They want those high fees back, the $500, $700 that they forked over. Delilah has refused to pay them back, so we have taken the initiative to link these women up with the Detroit IRS field office. We will see. We will stay on top of it. We'll see if they decide to open an investigation into her practices. But before I go, I want you to take a look at what's ahead at 6 p.m.
I have a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old. They don't deserve to come outside and play in an actual garbage dump.
A family that says they are surrounded by trash on all sides. Coming up, you'll see what happens after we pay them a visit. Again, that's coming up at 6 p.m. For now, I'm Amira David reporting from the Call for Action Center.